Alright, this is my silverback Gorilla Grill. This is the OG model. This is one of the original ones. Okay. When this came out, I did a lot of debating on buying this one, and I bought it mainly because of the reviews that I read and the fact that it said that it's double-walled insulated. So, thick gauge steel, 2 walls of insulation within the barrel, so that way it uses less pellets than a Traeger. These are made up in, I think, Wisconsin, if I'm not mistaken, maybe Minnesota. Anyway, my point is, I wanted to go with something a little bit tougher than a Traeger, maybe possibly a little bit better, and I've been happy with this. I've had a few things come up where I've reached out to their customer service and they've helped me, oftentimes way above and beyond where I think they would normally do. I had an issue with my cabinets here. There was a time where my cabinets had started developing rust around the corners of where the doors are, and I sent them a message with a video and I said, is it okay just to sand these and put Rust-Oleum on them? And they sent me new doors for free, and I was like, well, that's cool. And I was having an issue. This board is not the original board that came on it. This board is the upgrade for the Wi-Fi adaptability for your phone. Now, whenever I got this grill, originally it had just a push button, turn on, turn off, and that kind of thing. I saw that they were coming out with Wi-Fi technology for these things, and I thought, well, that'll be handy, especially when it's cold and I don't want to run out there to turn it on and, you know, monitor stuff from inside the house. That'd be kind of cool. And if I need to run to the store, I can still keep up with my cook and see if I need to turn up the temperature or turn it down and all that fun stuff. So I invested in this. Matter of fact, this was about the time that everybody else was going to Wi-Fi boards, and Grilla Grills was like, we don't want to sell Wi-Fi boards yet until we allow all of our previous owners to adapt their grills to this technology. So they did that. They sold us that, and they did it for a discounted price. Right now these sell for about $150, $149 I think is the total. And they were like, yeah, you know, here's some videos on how to wire it up and everything else. And I did that and got one, and I was happy with it. But I noticed shortly after I had installed it that my power button had quit working. It just quit working. But it worked with my phones. I was like, okay, well, maybe it has something to do with the Wi-Fi, no big deal. And then recently, this has been a few years ago, so recently I took this over to a friend's house to grill, and I couldn't turn it on to set it up to their Wi-Fi. My phone is set up to their Wi-Fi, but this wouldn't turn on. And I thought, well, crap, that's something I got to look at fixing. So I brought it back home and plugged it in, and still couldn't hook up to my Wi-Fi with my phone. And I was like, okay, well, that's a problem. So I reached out to them and I said, listen, I know that you guys have a business, and, you know, this grill is old, but I'm just looking for a solution here. What do you suggest? What's a creative solution here that I'm not thinking of? And they go, oh, we got a creative solution for you right here, buddy. We'll just send you a new one. How about that? And I was like, what? Free of charge. Send me a new one. What kind of customer service do you know out there right now in 2023 that just sends you the new part that you need free of charge? So shout out to Grilla Grills. Your customer service is amazing. So anyway, let me go ahead and replace this. All right, I got everything unplugged, and I got me a screwdriver to take this faceplate off, and watched the video that they sent me on how to replace it. It's the same video I watched when I replaced this one. We'll just massage all of the wiring out here, and these are the wires I'm going to replace. So we'll just start with one and work our way through. We'll Well, that's a different wire. I can see where this purple one ends up going with these. Alright, let me watch the video again. Time out for video watching. Okay, so when I got that out of here, I had to go get some scissors because I had zip tied the wiring together, and I'll tell you why. Inside of here is where your auger motor sits, and it's got a fan on it, and if you don't put your wiring back in here so that it doesn't touch that fan, it will stop the fan from turning, which stops the auger from turning. So when I had done this before, I kind of zip tied these things together so they just wouldn't be all over the place. Now, on the video that I watched, there is a breakdown, and I took a photo of the description by Grilla Grills, and he says, whenever you unhook these things, they're color coded. So your yellow is your fan. So when you hook up your new one, it's going to have a yellow and white, but the yellow signifies that it goes to your fan. The green goes to your auger. So green and white goes to auger, to the double green. Your purple one goes to the double white. That is your igniter. Okay. Your black and white one, that's back here. This goes to your power. It goes to the black and white wires here. And then you have this right here, which is to your probe. So anyway, I got all those done. I even took a little picture, and I'm going to include it in the video. This is from Grilla Grills, the video they sent. So what I could do is, even with this sitting here like this, I could go ahead and turn it on and get this playing around with this to see if it does hook up like it's supposed to. And let's go ahead and do that. It's not going to hurt anything as long as I don't touch anything metal. Nothing's touching anything metal. Everything's away from everything. I don't recommend doing this on your own, but I'm kind of an idiot, so I'm going to try it out. Alright, that's all done. Now I'm just going to push the power button, and we have power. Cool. 1, 2, 3. You hold it for 3 seconds and it should turn it off, and it's doing it. Great. I'm going to let this cycle down like normal, and then I'm going to unplug it once this cycles down, and I'll put everything back inside of here. And again, that's only 2 screws, so all I needed was a screwdriver, a Phillips head for these tiny little screws, and of course I brought my scissors for my zip ties, and I'll zip tie these things together and get them to where they're not going to touch anything. I'll show you what this fan looks like in here, so if you're ever curious. See this? This right here is the auger. That right there is the fan. And then if you look around, you can see that it's got some voided space over this way. Oops. Some voided space over this way where you could stuff your wiring. But I like to keep it together, so that's why I like to zip tie it. I also noticed whenever the first time I replaced my board that perhaps when they put this together originally, the auger had a little bit of something underneath here to prevent it from moving, and without that piece there, it was causing it to move as the auger was moving. So I just stuffed some I guess some padding, you would say, up under here, some sticky padding, so that once this auger starts turning, it has something to touch. I don't know if it's because of years of use. I've had this since probably, I think I've had this maybe 6 years, 7 years, something like that. It's been a while. I'd have to actually look online and see. I'll post it in the thing here so you guys know. Anyway, I'm just gonna zip tie these back together and put it back together. Here we are, working, heating up.